Hello there. Welcome to the world of Pokemon. My name is Linden. People call me the Pokemon Prof. This world is inhabited by creatures called Pokemon. For some people, Pokemon are pets. Others use them for fights. Myself, I study Pokemon as a profession. So what brings you into my lab today? Ah, you're the new trainer, right? Well, come in. I suppose you'll be wanting to hear about all the Pokemon that you're going to see on your adventures. No doubt get yours started too. Right, well, there's no rush. Take a seat, and we'll get started. Now, where did I leave that blasted thing? Aha, here it is. This is what we call a Pokedex. We use them to record data concerning wild and tamed Pokemon. The one I have here has information on all of the Pokemon. Well, those that we know of. Go on, give it a go and see what you can learn from it. Bulbasaur, grass poison type. A strange seed was planted on its back at birth. The plant sprouts and grows with this Pokemon. It can go days without eating a single morsel. In the bulb on its back, it stores energy. Ivysaur, grass poison type. When the bulb on its back grows large, it appears to lose the ability to stand on its hind legs. The bulb on its back grows by drawing energy. It gives off an aroma when it is ready to bloom. Venusaur, grass poison type. The plant blooms when it is absorbing solar energy. It stays on the move to seek sunlight. The flower on its back catches the sun's rays. The sunlight is then absorbed and used for energy. Charmander, fire type. Obviously prefers hotter places. When it rains, steam is said to spout from the tip of its tail. The flame at the tip of its tail makes a sound as it burns. You can only hear it in quiet places. Charmeleon, fire type. When it swings its burning tail, it elevates the temperature to unbearably high levels. Tough fights could excite this Pokemon. When excited, it may blow out bluish-white flames. Charizard, fire type. Spits fire that is hot enough to melt boulders. Known to cause forest fires unintentionally. When expelling a blast of super hot fire, the red flame at the tip of its tail burns more intensely. Squirtle, water type. After birth, its back swells and hardens into a shell, powerfully sprays foam from its mouth, shoots water at prey while in the water, withdraws into its shell when in danger. Wartortle, water type. Often hides in water to skulk unwary prey. For swimming fast, it moves its ears to maintain balance. When tapped, this Pokemon will pull in its head, but its tail will still stick out a little bit. Blastoise, water type. A brutal Pokemon with pressurized water jets on its shell. These
These are used for high-speed tackles. Once it takes aim at its enemy, it blasts out water with even more force than a fire hose. Caterpie Bug Type. Its short feet are tipped with suction pads that enable it to tirelessly climb slopes and walls. If you touch the feeler on the top of its head, it will release a horrible sting to protect itself. Metapod Bug Type. This Pokemon is vulnerable to attack whilst its shell is soft, exposing its weak and tender body. Hardens its shell to protect itself. However, a large impact may cause it to pop out of its shell. Butterfree Bug Flying Type. In battle, it flaps its wings at high speed to release highly toxic dust into the air. Its wings, covered with poisonous powders, repel water. This allows it to fly in the rain. Weedle Bug Poison Type. Often found in forests eating leaves, it has a sharp, venomous stinger on its head. Beware of the sharp stinger on its head. It hides in grass and bushes where it eats leaves. Kakuna Bug Poison Type. Almost incapable of moving, this Pokemon can only harden its shell to protect itself from predators. Able to move only slightly, when endangered, it may stick out its stinger and poison its enemy. Beedrill Bug Poison Type. Flies at high speed and attacks using its large venomous stingers on its forelegs and tail. It has 3 poisonous stingers on its forelegs and tail. They are used to jab its enemy repeatedly. Pidgey Normal Flying Type. A common sight in forests and woods. It flaps its wings at ground level to kick up blinding sand. Very docile. If attacked, it will often kick up sand to protect itself rather than to fight back. Pidgeot Normal Flying Type. Very protective of its sprawling territorial area. This Pokemon will fiercely peck at any intruder. This Pokemon is full of vitality. It constantly flies around its large territory in search of prey. Pidgeot Normal Flying Type. When hunting, it skims the surface of water at high speed to pick off unwary prey such as Magikarp. This Pokemon flies at Mach 2 speed, seeking prey. Its large talons are feared as wicked weapons. Rattata Normal Type. Bites anything when it attacks. Small and very quick. It is a common sight in many places. Will chew on anything with its fangs. If you see one, it is certain that 40 more live in the area. Raticate Normal Type. It uses its whiskers to maintain its balance. It apparently slows down if they are cut off. Its hind feet are webbed. They act as flippers, so it can swim in rivers and hunt for prey. Spearow Normal Flying Type. Eats bugs in grass grassy areas. It has to flap its short wings at high speed to stay airborne. Inept at flying high, however, it can fly around very fast to protect its territory. Firo, normal flying type. With its huge and magnificent wings, it can keep aloft without ever having to land for rest. A Pokemon that dates back many years. If it senses danger, it flies high and away instantly. Ekans, poison type. Moves silently and stealthily. Eats the eggs of birds such as Pidgey and Spearow whole. The older it gets, the longer it grows. At night, it wraps its long body around tree branches to rest. Arbok, poison type. It is rumoured that the ferocious warning markings on its belly differ from area to area. The frightening patterns on its belly have been studied. 6 variations have been confirmed. Pikachu, electric type. When several of these Pokemon gather, their electricity could build and cause lightning storms. It keeps its tail raised to monitor its surroundings. If you yank its tail, it will try to bite you. Raichu, electric type. Its long tail serves as a ground to protect itself from its own high voltage power. When electricity builds up inside its body, it becomes feisty. It also glows in the dark. Sandshrew, ground type. Burrows deep underground in arid locations far from water. It only emerges to hunt for food. Its body is dry. When it gets cold at night, its hide is said to become coated with a very fine dew. Sandslash, ground type. Curls up into a spiny ball when threatened. It can roll while curled up to attack or escape. It is skilled at slashing enemies with its claws. If broken, they start to grow back in a day. Nidoran female, poison type. Although small, its venomous barbs render this Pokemon dangerous. The female has smaller horns. A mild-mannered Pokemon that does not like to fight. Beware, its small horns secrete venom. Nidorina, poison type. The female's horn develops slowly, prefers physical attacks such as clawing and biting. When resting deep in its burrow, its thorns always retract. This is proof that it is relaxed. Nidoqueen, poison ground type. Its hard scales provide strong protection. It uses its hefty bulk to execute powerful moves. Though tough scales cover the sturdy body of this Pokemon, it appears the scales grow in cycles. Nidoran male, poison type. Stiffens its ears to sense danger. The larger its horns, the more powerful its secreted venom. Its large ears are always kept upright. If it senses danger, it will attack with a poisonous sting. Nidoran, Poison Type. An aggressive Pokemon that is quick to attack. The horn on its head secretes a powerful venom. Its horns contain venom. If they are stabbed into an enemy, the impact makes the poison leak out. Nidoking, Poison Ground Type. It uses its powerful tail in battle to smash, constrict, then break the prey's bones. Its steel-like hide adds to its powerful tackle. Its horns are so hard they can pierce a diamond. Clefairy, Fairy Type. Its magical and cute appeal has many admirers. It is rare and only found in certain areas. Adored for their cute looks and playfulness, they are thought to be rare as they do not appear often. Clefable, Fairy Type. A timid fairy Pokemon that is rarely seen. It will run and hide the moment it senses people. They appear to be very protective of their own world. It is a kind of fairy rarely seen by people. Vulpix, Fire Type. At the time of birth, it has just one tail. The tail splits from its tip as it grows older. Both its fur and tails are beautiful. As it grows, the tails split and form more tails. Ninetales, Fire Type. Very smart and very vengeful. Grabbing one of its many tails could result in a 1,000-year curse. According to an enduring legend, 9 noble saints were united and reincarnated as this Pokemon. Jigglypuff, Normal Fairy Type. When its huge eyes light up, it sings a mysteriously soothing melody that lulls its enemies to sleep. Uses its alluring eyes to enrapture its foe. It then sings a pleasing melody that lulls the foe to sleep. Wigglytuff, Normal Fairy Type. The body is soft and rubbery. When angry, it will suck in air to inflate itself to enormous size. Its body is full of elasticity. By inhaling deep, it could continue to inflate itself without limit. Zubat, Poison Flying Type. Forms colonies in perpetually dark places. Uses ultrasonic waves to identify and approach targets. Emits ultrasonic cries while it flies. They act as a sonar used to check for objects in its way. Golbat, Poison Flying Type. Once it strikes, it will not stop draining energy from the victim even if it gets too heavy to fly. It attacks in a stealthy manner without warning. Its sharp fangs are used to bite and suck blood. Oddish, Grass Poison Type. During the day, it keeps its face buried in the ground. At night, it wanders around, sowing its seeds. It may be mistaken for a clump of weeds. If you try to yank it out of the ground, it shrieks horribly. Glue, Grass Poison Type. The fluid that oozes from its mouth isn't drool. It is a nectar that is used to attract prey. smells incredibly foul. However, 1 out of 1,000 people enjoy sniffing its nose-bending stink. Vile blue, grass poison type. The larger its petals, the more toxic pollen it contains. Its big head is heavy and hard to hold up. Flaps its broad flower petals to scatter its poisonous pollen. The flapping sound is very loud.
Paras, bug grass type. Burrows to suck tree roots. The mushrooms on its back grow by drawing nutrients from the bug host. Burrows under the ground to gnaw on tree roots. The mushrooms on its back absorb most of the nutrition. Parasect, bug grass type. A host parasite pair in which the parasite mushroom has taken over the host bug. Prefers damp places. The bug host is drained of energy by the mushroom on its back. They appear to do all the thinking. Venonat, bug poison type. Lives in the shadows of tall trees where it eats insects. It is attracted by light at night. Its large eyes act as radars. In a bright place, you can see that there are clusters of many tiny eyes. Venomoth, bug poison type. The dust-like scales covering its wings are color-coded to indicate the kinds of poison it has. The powdery scales on its wings are hard to remove. They also contain poison that leaks out on contact. Diglett, ground type. Lives about 1 yard underground where it feeds on plant roots. It sometimes appears above ground. It prefers dark places. It spends most of its time underground, though it may pop up in caves. Dogtrio, ground type. A team of Diglett triplets. It triggers huge earthquakes by burrowing 60 miles underground. A team of triplets that can burrow over 60 miles per hour. Due to this, some people think it's an earthquake. Meowth, normal type. Adores circular objects. Wanders the streets on a nightly basis to look for dropped loose change. Appears to be more active at night. It loves round and shiny things. It can't stop from picking them up. Persian, normal type. Although its fur has many admirers, it is tough to raise as a pet because of its fickle meanness. The gem on its forehead glows on its own. It walks with all the grace and elegance of a proud queen. Psyduck, water type. While lulling its enemies with its vacant look, this wily Pokemon will use psychokinetic powers. Always tormented by headaches, it uses psychic powers, but it is not known if it intends to do so. Golduck, water type. Often seen swimming elegantly by lake shores, it is often mistaken for the Japanese monster Kappa. Its slim and long limbs end in broad flippers. They are used for swimming gracefully in lakes. Mankey, fighting type. Extremely quick to anger, it could be docile one moment, then threshing away the next instant. An agile Pokemon that lives in trees.
furious and tenacious to boot. It will not abandon chasing its quarry until it is caught. It stops being angry only when no one else is around. To view this moment is very difficult. Growlithe, Fire type, very protective of its territory. It will bark and bite to repel intruders from its space. A Pokemon with a friendly nature. However, it will bark fiercely at anything invading its territory. Arcanine, Fire type, a Pokemon that has been admired since the past for its beauty. It runs agilely, as if on wings. A legendary Pokemon in China. Many people are charmed by its grace and beauty while running. Poliwag, Water type. Its newly grown legs prevent it from running. It appears to prefer swimming than trying to stand. The direction of the spiral on its belly differs by area. It is more adept at swimming than walking. Poliwhirl, Water type. Capable of living in or out of water. When out of water, it sweats to keep its body slimy. Under attack, it uses its belly spiral to put the foe to sleep. It then makes its escape. Poliwrath, Water fighting type. An adept swimmer at both the front crawl and breaststroke. Easily overtakes the best human swimmers. Swims powerfully using all the muscles in its body. It can even overtake champion swimmers. Abra, Psychic type. Using its ability to read minds, it will identify impending danger and teleport to safety. Sleeps 18 hours a day. If it senses danger, it will teleport itself to safety even as it sleeps. Kadabra, Psychic type. It emits special alpha waves from its body that induce headaches just by being close by. Many odd things happen if this Pokemon is close by. For example, it makes clocks run backwards. Alakazam, Psychic type. Its brain can outperform a supercomputer. Its intelligence quotient is said to be 5,000. A Pokemon that can memorize anything. It never forgets what it learns. That's why this Pokemon is smart. Machop, Fighting type. Loves to build its muscles. It trains in all styles of martial arts to become even stronger. Very powerful in spite of its small size. Its mastery of many types of martial arts makes it very tough. Machoke, Fighting type. Its muscular body is so powerful, it must wear a power save belt to help regulate its motions. The belt around its waist holds back energy. Without it, this Pokemon would be unstoppable. Machamp, Fighting type. Using its heavy muscles, it throws powerful punches that can send the victim clear over the horizon. One arm alone can move mountains. Using all four arms, this Pokemon fires off awesome punches. Bellsprout, Grass Poison type. A carnivorous Pokemon that traps and eats bugs. It uses its root feet to soak up needed moisture. Prefers hot and humid places. It ensnares tiny insects with its vines and surprises the enemy and then finishes it off with a spray of acid. When hungry, it swallows anything that moves. Its hapless prey is melted inside by strong acids. Victory Bell, Grass Poison Type. Said to live in huge colonies deep in the jungles, although no one has ever returned from there. Lures prey with the sweet aroma of honey. Swallowed whole, the prey is melted in a day, bones and all. Tentacool, Water Poison Type. Drifts in shallow seas. Anglers who hook them by accident are often punished by its stinging acid. It can sometimes be found all dry and shriveled up on a beach. Toss it back into the sea to revive it. Tentacruel, Water Poison Type. The tentacles are normally kept short. On hunts, they are extended to ensnare and immobilize prey. Its 80 tentacles can stretch and contract freely. They wrap around prey and weaken it with poison. Geodude, Rock Ground Type. Found in fields and mountains. Mistaking them for boulders, people often step or trip on them. Commonly found near mountain trails. If you step on one by accident, it gets angry. Graveler, Rock Ground Type. Rolls down slopes to move. It rolls over any obstacle without slowing or changing its direction. Often seen rolling down mountain trails. Obstacles are just things to roll straight over, not avoid. Golem, Rock Ground Type. Its boulder-like body is extremely hard. It can easily withstand dynamite blasts without damage. Once it sheds its skin, its body turns tender and whitish. Its hide hardens when it's exposed to air. Ponyta, Fire Type. Its hooves are 10 times harder than diamonds. It can trample anything completely flat in little time. Capable of jumping incredibly high, its hooves and sturdy legs absorb the impact of a hard landing. Rapidash, Fire Type. Very competitive. This Pokemon will chase anything that moves fast in the hopes of racing it. It just loves to run. If it sees something faster than itself, it will give chase at top speed. Slowpoke, Psychic Type. Incredibly slow and dopey. It takes 5 seconds for it to feel pain when under attack. Slow and sluggish. It is quite content to lull about without worrying about the time. Slowbro, Water Psychic Type. The shelter that is latched onto the slowpoke's tail is said to feed on the host's leftover scraps. Lives lazily by the sea. If the shelter on its tail comes off, it becomes a slowpoke again. Magnemite, Electric Steel Type. Uses anti-gravity to stay suspended. Appears without warning and uses Thunder Wave and similar moves. It is born with the ability to defy gravity. It floats in air on powerful electromagnetic waves. Magneton, Electric Steel Type. Formed by several magnemites linked together, they frequently appear when sunspots flare up. Generates strange radio signals. It raises the temperature by 3.6 degrees within 3,300 feet. freezing. Doduo, normal flying type. A bird that makes up for its poor flying with its fast foot speed, leaves giant footprints. Its short wings make flying difficult. Instead, this Pokemon runs at high speed on developed legs. Dodrio, normal flying type, uses its 3 brains to execute complex plans. While 2 heads sleep, 1 head stays awake. One of Doduo's 2 heads splits to form a unique species. It runs close to 40 miles per hour in prairies. Seal, water type. The protruding horn on its head is very hard. It is used for bashing through thick ice. Loves freezing cold conditions. Relishes swimming in frigid climate of around 14 degrees. Dugong, water ice type. Stores thermal energy in its body. Swims at a steady 8 knots, even in intensely cold waters. Its entire body is snowy white, unharmed by even intense cold. It swims powerfully in icy waters. Grimer, poison type. Appears in filthy areas, thrives by sucking up polluted sludge that is pumped out of factories. Made of hardened sludge, it smells too putrid to touch. Even weeds won't grow in its path. Muck, poison type. Thickly covered in a filthy, vile sludge. It is so toxic, even its footprints contain poison. Smells so awful, it can cause fainting. Through degeneration, it has lost its sense of smell. Shelter, water type. Its hard shell repels any kind of attack. It is vulnerable only when its shell is open. The shell can withstand any attack. However, when it is open, the tender body is exposed. Cloyster, water ice type. When attacked, it launches its horns in quick volleys. Its innards have never been seen. For protection, it uses its harder than diamond shell. It also shoots spikes from the shell. Ghastly, ghost poison type. Almost invisible, this gaseous Pokemon cloaks the target and puts it to sleep without notice. Said to appear in decrepit, deserted buildings, it has no real shape, as it appears to be made of a gas. Haunter, ghost poison type. Because of its ability to slip through block walls, it has been said to be from another dimension. By licking, it saps the victim's life. It causes shaking that won't stop until the victim's demise. Gengar, ghost poison type. Under a full moon, this Pokemon likes to mimic the shadow of people and laugh at their fright. A Gengar is close by if you feel a sudden chill. It may be trying to lay a curse on you. Onyx, rock ground type. As it grows, the stone portions of its body harden to become similar to diamond, but coloured black. Burrows at high speed in the search of food. The tunnels it leaves are used as homes by Diglett. Drowsy, psychic type. Puts enemies to sleep, then eats their dreams. Occasionally gets sick from eating bad dreams. If you sleep by it all the time, it will sometimes show you the dreams it has eaten in the past. Hypno, psychic type. When it enemy, it will use a mix of psi moves such as hypnosis and confusion. Avoid eye contact if you come across one. It will try to put you to sleep by using its pendulum. Crabby, Water Type. Its pincers are not only powerful weapons, they are used for balance when walking sideways. They sometimes break off during battle, but they grow back fast. Kingler, Water Type. The large pincer has 10,000 horsepower of crushing power. However, its huge size makes it unwieldy to use. One claw grew massively and as hard as steel. However, it is too heavy. Voltorb, Electric Type. Usually found in power plants. Easily mistaken for a Pokeball. They have zapped many people. It is said to camouflage itself as a Pokeball. It will self-destruct with very little stimulus. Electrode, Electric Type. It stores electric energy under very high pressure. It often explodes with little or no provocation. Stores electrical energy inside its body. Even the slightest shock could trigger a huge explosion. Execute, Grass Psychic Type. Often mistaken for eggs. When disturbed, they gather quickly and attack in swarms. The heads attract each other and spin around. There must be 6 heads for it to maintain balance. Executor, Grass Psychic Type. Legend has it that on rare occasions, one of its heads will drop off and continue on as an execute. Its cries are very noisy. This is because each of the 3 heads thinks about whatever it likes. Cubone, Ground Type. Because it never removes its skull helmet, no one has ever seen this Pokemon's real face. Wears the skull of its deceased mother. Its cries echo inside the skull and come out as a sad melody. Marowak, Ground Type. The bone it holds is its key weapon. It throws the bone skillfully like a boomerang to knock out targets. Small and weak, this Pokemon is adept with its bone club. It has grown more vicious over the ages. Hitmonlee, Fighting Type. When in a hurry, its legs lengthen progressively. It runs smoothly with extra long, loping strides. When kicking, the sole of its foot turns as hard as diamond on impact and destroys its enemy. Hitmonchan, Fighting Type. While apparently doing nothing, it fires punches in lightning-fast volleys that are impossible to see. Punches in a corkscrew fashion. It can punch its way through a concrete wall in the same way as a drill. Lickitung, Normal Type. Its tongue can be extended like a Charmeleon's. It leaves a tingling sensation when it licks enemies. Its tongue spans almost 7 feet and moves more freely than its forelegs. Its licks can cause paralysis. Coughing, Poison Type. Because it stores several kinds of toxic gases in its body, it is prone to exploding without warning. In hot places, its internal gases can expand and explode without any warning. Be very careful. Wheezing, Poison Type. Where two kinds of poison gases meet, two coughings can fuse into a wheezing over many years. It lives and grows by absorbing dust, germs, and poison gases that are contained in toxic waste and garbage. Rhyhorn, Ground Rock Type. Its massive bones are 1,000 times harder than human bones. It can easily knock a trailer flying. A Pokemon with a one-track mind. Once it charges, it won't stop running until it falls asleep. Rhydon, Ground Rock Type. Protected by an armor-like hide, it is capable of living in molten lava of 3,600 degrees. Walks on its hind legs, shows signs of intelligence. Its armor-like hide repels molten lava. Chansey, Normal Type. A rare and elusive Pokemon that is said to bring happiness to those who manage to get it. A gentle and kind-hearted Pokemon that shares its nutritious eggs if it sees an injured Pokemon. Tangela, Grass Type. The whole body is swathed with wide vines that are similar to seaweed. Its vines shake as it walks. Its identity is obscured by masses of thick blue vines. The vines are said to never stop growing. Kangaskhan, Normal Type. The infant rarely ventures out of the mother's protective pouch until it is 3 years old. Raises its young in the belly pouch. Won't run from any fight to keep its young protected. Horsey, Water Type. Known to shoot down flying bugs with precision blasts of ink from the surface of the water. If it senses any danger, it will vigorously spray water or a special type of ink from its mouth. Seadra, Water Type. Capable of swimming backwards by rapidly flapping its wing-like pectoral fins and stout tail. Touching the back fin causes numbness. It hooks its tail to coral to stay in place while sleeping. Goldeen, Water Type. Its tail fin billows like an elegant ballroom dress, giving it the nickname of Water Queen. When it is time for them to lay eggs, they can be seen swimming up rivers and falls in large groups. Seeking, Water Type. In the autumn spawning season, they can be seen swimming powerfully up rivers and creeks. It is the male's job to make a nest by carving out boulders in a stream using the horn on its head. Staryu, Water Type. An enigmatic Pokemon that can effortlessly regenerate any appendage it loses in battle. As long as the center section is unharmed, it can grow back fully even if it is chopped to bits. Starmie, Water Psychic Type. Its central core glows with the 7 colors of the rainbow. Some people value the core as a gem. The center section is named the core. People think it is communicating when it glows in 7 colors. Mr. Mime, Psychic Fairy Type. If interrupted while it is miming, it will slap around the offender with its broad hands. Always practices its pantomime act. It makes makes enemies believe something exists that really doesn't. Scyther, Bug Flying Type. With ninja-like agility and speed, it can create the illusions that there are more than one. Leaps out of tall grass and slices prey with its scythes. The movement looks like that of a ninja. Jinx, Ice Psychic Type. It seductively wiggles its hips as it walks. It can cause people to dance in unison with it. Appears to move to a rhythm of its own, as if it were dancing. It wiggles its hips as it walks. Electabuzz, Electric Type. Normally found near power plants, they can wander away and cause major blackouts in cities. If a major power outage occurs, it is certain that this Pokemon has eaten electricity at a power plant. Magmar, Fire Type. Its body always burns with an orange glow that enables it to hide perfectly among flames. Born in an active volcano, its body is always coated in flames, so it looks like a big ball of fire. Pincer, Bug Type. If it fails to crush the victim in its pincers, it will swing it around and toss it hard. Grips its prey in its pincers and squeezes hard. It can't move if it's cold, so it lives in warm places. Tauros, Normal Type. When it targets an enemy, it charges furiously while whipping its body with its long tails. A rowdy Pokemon with a lot of stamina. Once running, it won't stop until it hits something. Magikarp, Water Type. In the distant past, it was somewhat stronger than the horribly weak descendants that exist today. Famous for being very unreliable, it can be found swimming in seas, lakes, rivers, and shallow puddles. Gyarados, Flying Water Type. Rarely seen in the wild, huge and vicious, it is capable of destroying entire cities in a rage. Brutally vicious and enormously destructive, known for totally destroying cities in ancient times. Lapras, Water Ice Type. A Pokemon that has been overhunted almost to extinction. It can ferry people across the water. A gentle soul that can read the minds of people. It can ferry people across the sea on its back. Ditto, Normal Type. Capable of copying an enemy's genetic code to instantly transform itself into a duplicate of the enemy. When it spots an enemy, its body transforms into an almost perfect copy of its opponent. Eevee, Normal Type. Its genetic code is irregular and unstable. It may mutate if it is exposed to radiation from evolution stones. It could evolve in a variety of ways. There are only a few alive. Vaporeon, Water Type. Lives close to water. Its long tail is ridged with a fin, which is often mistaken for a mermaid's. Its cell structure is similar to water molecules. It will melt away and become invisible in water. Jolteon, Electric Type. It accumulates negative ions in the atmosphere to blast out 10,000-volt lightning bolts. A sensitive Pokemon that easily becomes becomes sad or angry. Every time its mood changes, it charges power. Flareon, Fire Type. When storing thermal energy in its body, its temperature could soar to over 1,600 degrees. It has a flame chamber inside its body. It inhales, then blows out fire that is over 3,000 degrees. Porygon, Normal Type. A Pokemon that consists entirely of programming code, capable of moving freely in cyberspace. The only Pokemon people anticipate can fly into space. None have managed the feat yet, however. Omanyte, Rock Water Type. Although long extinct, in rare cases it can be genetically resurrected from fossils. An ancient Pokemon that was recovered from a fossil. It swims by cleverly twisting its 10 tentacles about. Omastar, Rock Water Type. A prehistoric Pokemon that died out when its heavy shell made it impossible to catch prey. Sharp beaks ring its mouth. Its shell was too big for it to freely move, so it became extinct. Kabuto, Rock Water Type. A Pokemon that was resurrected from a fossil found in what was once the ocean floor eons ago. A Pokemon that was recovered from a fossil. It uses the eyes on its back while hiding in the sea floor. Kabutops, Rock Water Type. Its sleek shape is perfect for swimming. It slashes prey with its claws and drains the body fluids. A slim and fast swimmer, it slices its prey with its sharp sickles and drinks the body fluids. Aerodactyl, Rock Flying Type. A ferocious, prehistoric Pokemon that goes for the enemy's throat with its serrated, saw-like fangs. A savage Pokemon that died out in ancient times. It was resurrected using DNA taken from amber. Snorlax, Normal Type. Very lazy, just eats and sleeps. As its rotund bulk builds, it becomes steadily more slothful. Will eat anything, even if the food happens to be a little mouldy. It never gets an upset stomach. Articuno, Ice Flying Type. A legendary bird Pokemon that is said to appear when doomed people are lost in icy mountains. It freezes water that is contained in winter air and makes it snow. Zapdos, Electric Flying Type. A legendary bird Pokemon that is said to appear from clouds while dropping enormous lightning bolts. This legendary bird Pokemon is said to appear when sky turns dark and lightning showers down. Moltres, Fire Flying Type. Known as the legendary bird of fire, every flap of its wings creates a dazzling flash of flames. As it flaps its blazing wings, even the night sky will turn red. Dratini, Dragon Type. Long considered a mythical Pokemon until recently when a small colony was found living underwater. The existence of this mythical Pokemon was only recently confirmed by a fisherman who caught one. Dragonair, Dragon Type. A mystical Pokemon that exudes a gentle aura. is said to match that of humans. It is said that this Pokemon lives somewhere in the sea and that it flies. However, it is only a rumor. Mewtwo, Psychic Type. It was created by a scientist after years of horrific gene splicing and DNA engineering experiments. Its DNA is almost the same as Mew's, however, its size and disposition are vastly different. Mew, Psychic Type. So rare that it is said to be a mirage by many experts. Only a few people have ever seen it worldwide. When viewed through a microscope, this Pokemon's short, fine, delicate hair can be seen.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe.